Hello everyone and welcome back to Solidworks. So in this video we're going to be going over some example problems to kind of reinforce the topics we've been going over in the last few lectures. So the first one I got up is this shape right here. So when you're starting to move into creating 3D parts, it's important to try to assess what features are best to create first. So if you look at this drawing, we've got a top-down view, we've got a front view, and we've got a side view here. So let's take a look at this. What makes the most sense to start with? So looking at this, I think it makes most sense to start with this shape right here and do an extrusion downwards, and then to do an extrusion cut here, and then to create an extrusion for these tabs on the end, add in the holes and the rounds after the fact. So let's go ahead and let's give this a shot. So I'm going to start with a sketch, and I'm going to select the top plane. Okay, and I think I'm gonna start with a mid plane. I think that makes the most sense. And I'm gonna draw. Let's see. I got a line here, 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 and then here to close it off. All right. So looking at the dimensions, it looks like I've got a dimension of 3 across the midline. Actually, let me back up. I think I added a little bit too many lines. I don't want to close it off because I'm going to do a mirror across. Alright, so no harm, no foul. So backing back out, I'm going to do a dimension of 3 here. And then I've got a dimension of 7.5 from here across. 1.5, okay. I've got a dimension of 0.62 here, and then 1.88 here. Okay. Now I'm going to mirror this all across the center line. So I'm going to go to mirror entities. I'm going to select all this stuff and mirror it about this line. So let me try to grab this line here too. That's everything. Hit OK. And I've got my first contour that I'm going to extrude. So I come over here to Features, Extrude Boss Base, and I think I'm going to do a mid-plane extrusion. Try to take use of some of the symmetry of this part. So it looks like it's going to be an extrusion upwards of 3.13. Okay. Here we go. That's our first extrusion. Now I think I'm going to do the channel here. So I'm going to create a sketch on this surface here. So I'll go normal to, and I'm going to create a circle that is, just put it right here. I'll select the center point. I'm going to select the edge, and I'm going to see if I can't hover it over the midpoint. Got it. Hovered over the midpoint, hit coincident. It's not coincident with the midpoint there, which is what I want. And I want to make this 2.25. Now, if you look at the drawing here, you might be a little bit fooled to think you have to create a contour that is this half circle, which really isn't the case. What I've got now is enough, because if I do an extrude cut here, it's only going to remove the material that already exists. So because there's no material up here, it's not going to do anything. So I've got everything that I need to do my extrude cut now. So I'll go Features, Extruded Cut, and I'm going to make sure that it goes through all. So I'm going to select through all, and I'm going to hit OK. And there we go. I've got the channel in now. Now I'm going to work on the little tabs down here. So I'm going to rotate up here, and I'm going to do Sketch, select this surface here, go normal to, and I'm just going to draw them in. So I'll go here, like so, and then I'm going to do here, like so. Alright, so it looks to me like it's going to be 6 total inches from here to here, and it's symmetric. So I'm going to put in a center line. Center line? Yep. Draw it down like this. Select everything I need for a symmetric relation. That locks everything in nicely. Okay, so now I'm going to go Features, Extrude Boss Base, and I'm going to do a blind extrusion upwards, and it looks like that's going to be an extrusion of 0.62. Make sure I highlight that. Okay, so whenever I'm doing this extrusion, it's important to make sure that I've got merge result checked. That's going to merge the extrusion into one solid body. This will be more important later on in this series, but for right now, let's make sure that we're making that merge result is always selected whenever we do these extrusions. So I'm going to hit OK. Okay. Now I've got to put in these edge fillets. So I'm going to come up here to fillet, and it looks like that's a round of 0.5. So I'll select 0.5, and I'm going to select the edges. So I'll select that edge, and I'll select that edge. All right. And now I'm going to put in the 2 holes. So I'll go another sketch here on this surface. Go normal to, and I'm going to create a circle here and another circle right here. And so judging by these circles, they are 0.75 in diameter and 4.6 inches apart, and 1 inch off of this surface both. So I'm going to put that in. So 1 inch, 1 inch, 4.6 apart. And I'm going to put in a center line. Select those 2 center points, select the midline, and hit OK. Alright, now I've got something that's causing my model to break. What is it? I've got, let me delete that. Let's see what it does, see if it fixes everything. It does, but what do I have in that's causing it to have issues? Interesting. Okay, so 0.75 here, 0.75 here. Okay, I think I understand why. Because I had the 1 inch on both, even though I had the symmetric relation in. That was too much information. That makes sense. So if I put that 1 inch back in now, it's going to cause it to break. Yeah, that's what it is. It's because I got the symmetric relation in. It's already going to be. It's already telling it that it's symmetric across this line, so it's going to put them already in line with each other. So having that extra 1 inch is giving it too much information and causing it to be over-defined. That makes sense. Alright, so let's go ahead and do an extruded cut now. And I'm going to go through all. And then I got one more to do. I'll put another 2 holes on this face right here. Just put another center line in. I've got a hole here and a hole here. And it looks to be that they are 2 inches up. Okay. 4.6 apart. Or, no, sorry. They are 5 apart. And 0.75 in diameter. And symmetric about the origin. Okay, now I'm going to do an extrude cut. Select through all. And there's my finished part. So I'm going to save this one. So go to create lecture 3 examples. Okay. And we'll title this example. And we're going to put all these examples in the same directory. Alright, so moving on, let's take a look at the next part. kind of got this shape right here. So I think what makes the most sense is to create this contour, do a mid-plane extrusion, and then add in these rounds afterwards, and then put in these two holes. So let's go ahead and do that. So I'm going to go File, New, and I'm going to sketch on the front plane. I'm going to start with a circle, and so this circle is going to be diameter of 2.76. Okay. And I'm just going to draw a line out like this and draw it down. And I'm going to draw a line out like this and draw it down. Okay, so I'm also going to put in a center line for symmetry. And now I'm going to make sure that I've got 8 point. So I'm just gonna close this all off. Draw it in like this. Okay, so I've got 8.75 here. Go ahead and fix my sketch, make sure it looks nice. Add symmetry here. Bring this in like so. And then I'm also going to add in 1.25 here and 0.5 here. And then I've got 0.5 here. And let's see, what am I missing? This is blue, so this is moving like that. So I'm going to make this and this equal. Okay. This moves up and down, so I'm going to make this and this collinear. Put them in line. Now I think I'm ready to start cleaning up this extra junk. So I don't need that, don't need that, don't need this, and I don't need that. So what else do I need? I need to put in an outer circle, which is going to be, oops, didn't mean to do that. Edit sketch. Let's see, a 0.5, like so. So what do I need to put in there? So I'm gonna make this collinear. All right, now I'm going to start cleaning up the extra junk. So that's not needed. That's not needed. That's not needed. That, and that. All right. So I got a couple more blue lines in. What did I do wrong? So that's free to move up and down like that. I need to go ahead and lock these in as collinear lines. This and this are in line with each other. Alright, that makes everything go black. Okay, so now I'm good for my extrusion. So I'm going to go Features, Extrude, and it's extrusion of 3. I'm going to leave this as mid-plane. Try to make as much use of mid-plane as possible whenever you're dealing with parts with symmetry. And hit OK. I'll round off these edges here. They are all 0.38. Alright, and then finally I've got, well, it looks like it's rounded here as well. I'm going to put in a fillet here too. There we go. And then I'm going to put in the 2 holes. So sketch. Actually, I think I'm missing another fillet. Fillet on this edge and this edge. Alright, I think we got them all now. Okay, so sketch on this surface. I'm going to put a circle here and a circle here. And I'm going to put them in line with the origin. Okay. and they're diameter 0.75. And they are 6 inches apart. And they're symmetric, about a center line. Alright, and then we're going to do an extrude cut through all. And that'll do it for this part. Alright, moving on to the last part for this video. We've got this shape here. So I think it makes sense to do a mid-plane extrusion on this right here, and then add in this boss and then this boss. So let's go ahead and let's give that a shot. I'm going to go File, New. First, I'm going to save this one. So let me save this part first. Cancel. File. Save as. Example 2. Okay. File, New. New part. Alright, so I've got, that looks to be, I'm going to grab the right plane, and I'm going to do a center line going right down the middle, like that. Alright, so I've got a shape that kind of looks like this. So over, 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 up, over, 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 and close. Alright, so I got a shape that kind of looks like that. So let's go ahead and start adding in some relations. So I got this and this are symmetric. Grab that line. Symmetric. Okay. Let me bring this like this. Make this collinear. And I've got an angle of 60 here. Okay. I've got 3.25 here. Alright, I've got 1 inch here, and they're equal. And then I've got 0.88 here. Alright. And then I've got 6 inches here. Alright, that made everything go black. That's good. And now I'm going to do a mid-plane extrusion of 3.62. Hit OK. Alright, it's looking good so far. I'm going to add in a chamfer here and here. And judging by it's 45 degrees, and it is 0.25 as the distance. There we go. Alright, so now I've got this circular boss on the top of the surface here. I'll go ahead and I'll create that. That is a diameter of 1.5. And a blind extrusion of 1.25. Oops. Alright. And then I've got another extrusion up here. And that one is going to be diameter of 1.5. Or, sorry, let me back it up. I think I made a slight error on this first extrusion. This should be 2.75. So let me go ahead and correct that by going back in under the feature tree and editing the sketch. Exit the sketch. Alright, there we're good. Let's go back into the sketch, make that 1.5, and then that's going to be a 2-inch extrusion. Alright, now we've got this little cut in right up here. So I'm going to do a sketch on this surface, and I'm going to create a center line that runs down this way. And I'm going to convert entities here. So I've got a circle around the edge, and then I'm going to create 2 lines that are both horizontal. Say that they're symmetric, and they are 0.38 inches apart from each other. Alright, now I'm going to use the Trim Entities tool to clean this up. And there we go. Extrude cut, and I'm going to extrude it down 1 inch. And that'll do it. Alright, so that'll do it for this video. Thank you all so very much for watching. If you're liking what you're seeing so far, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more content such as this. Till next time, have a good one. Bye-bye.